the Housekeeping Alex and Jeff.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode. This is going to be a fun one. If you notice, we are getting up there in numbers, guys. This is 149, and it's kind of crazy. And we're coming up next month on our 3-year anniversary. So thank you guys so much for supporting us, listening. Thank you to Martial Arts Center Network for just allowing us to do this. This has been a fun ride and fun time each and every week. So
who would have thought?
I know, right?
3 years. I mean, I thought I was like, yeah, man, we could do this for a few months and just talk karate, you know?
Yeah.
Now there's no end in sight. There's no end in sight.
Exactly. And
like
we're gonna
inside scoop and taxes. The only thing you know.
It's true. We're gonna let everyone know some details too about our 150 show. And we'll let everybody know that probably at the end, and how we're doing that, and be announcing, because we have some cool ideas, some fun stuff we're going to do for that. Yeah. So, dude, I was on, before we get into talking about our sponsor, I was on the 100th episode last night.
That was a good one. Yeah, I'm glad you guys went live.
Fist Kicks and Flicks. Yeah, we had a couple of issues with good old Facebook, but go check it out live on YouTube or Facebook, or go to the podcast and listen. It was a great show. We had a lot of fun discussing Bruce Lee, in the movie The Dragon. So
yeah, it was I feel like that was a really good movie for you guys to really preview. I'm glad they brought you in for that. To review for 100, I think that was a really good one, because it wasn't just like this is a good movie. It's basically like a kind of a documentary, not really though. Like a movie. It's like a movie. It's a movie about Bruce Lee. It's a movie about Bruce Lee.
A documentary though isn't like, that's not what a documentary is. But okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, it was a lot of fun. Go check out the episode. Is Fist Kicks and Flicks, episode 100. We had a lot of fun with that, and excited to just see all of our shows, continue to grow. So. And as you guys know, there's been a lot of news with the Virtual Fight Tour. We have an awesome sponsor. Man, of course, still, Put Up or Shut Up is coming up October 23rd, 24th. The next day is King in New York.
September.
I got an email today.
September 23rd.
Yeah, I said October. My bad. September. Yeah,
right.
September 23rd, 24th. Yeah, I'm thinking of the next one. And that's coming up soon, guys. So get ready, get your teams ready, start registering. I think they put out by the end of the month, you got to be registered for the Put Up or Shut Up.
Should be. This is not one of those events where it's like, maybe, if I got time, if I'm in the area. No, it's a team event, right? It's getting, unless, your bins or next level, it's going to be a destination. You're going to have to plan for it anyway.
Right.
So what are we waiting on?
Right.
Right.
And I mean, New York's a great time to do it. So it's not, listen, it's September. It's not too cold. I mean, it's a great time to go there. So, hey, why not? So, and Jesse puts on a great event with VFT. So, and all of us are going to be buying it. So check it out, guys. Get on myeventex.com. And register your team, male, female, seniors, whatever you want to do. Let's make it happen. And then the next day, everybody's going to be at, King of New York. So great event.
One day I want the schedules to work. I want to be in the arena for a VFT.
Yes, me too. What's up, Kyle?
Yeah, what's happening, brother?
Yeah, man. So the next big event, after that, the VFT is putting on, they're going to be a part of the Bristol Open. And, man, we've been having some fun talking about this. I know CTE talked a lot about it on their show Monday.
He had a good one.
Yep. They just released today that Tyreek will be a member of the U.S. team. So we got Tyreek, we got Bailey, and we got Darren that have been announced. Oh, and also James Poor has been announced so far. So that's 4 right
just
there.
Just a bunch of athletes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be great. And then we have 3 so far announced. What's up, Jackson? What's up, Chris? Yes, James Poor, man. And we got 3 announced for Europe, unless there's something that just recently was announced that I didn't check out. So we have I cannot pronounce his name. I don't have it in front of me.
Is it the Bulgarian?
Yeah, from Bulgaria.
Never heard of him.
So
I think I had heard
from Bulgaria.
Here's what I had heard. I think I had heard
What's
that there
up,
was
Orlowski?
a good one.
How you doing?
What up, Jeff? But I didn't. I had not
Borislav. All right, there we go.
Okay. Yes. So I had heard that there's this guy, but I've never seen him fight. Now,
Okay.
Tolly, I've seen fight. I've fought Tolly. All right. And if you have 2 eyes and you've lived in sport martial arts the last like 4 or 5 years, you've seen Elijah Averill. All right.
Yes, exactly.
So that's obviously a huge one
great.
right there. And so, I mean, I've got tons of things. Jeff, what do we do, man? What direction we going in? I'm gonna let you steer this ship.
No, we're not going to
go
too far into this. We're going to get a little bit closer to that before we get into that, because I think, the hype is happening. Everyone's getting excited for it. So if you thought, hey, I've always wanted to go to the Bristol Open. Maybe this is the year to go,
Yeah.
And I know it's right before Diamonds. So it's a big, October is a big sport karate month now. It's no longer where it's kind of chill, whatever. It's the Worlds, WKC, WKU.
October is the new March.
Everything. Yeah, it's wild. And March is like regional tournament time now.
Wasn't that it? March is like the most like saturated month for karate tournaments.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any karate tournaments in March this year.
Yeah, right? March or April. It was. I remember when I was putting on tournaments, April was the toughest, and it was like every weekend, and we were all battling for a day. And then you add in Easter, and it's like, oh man,
now there's nothing, and everybody wants to be in March, and it's like, then you're competing with the Diamonds and the World Championships too. It's like
it's wild, man.
Hey,
so I'm excited for it all. It's going to be great.
This is why there's a lot. This is why there's not a lot of married guys with kids continuing to do the sport, because I gotta tell you, like I think I did that like 1 year where I was at a tournament like 3 consecutive weekends. When I came home, that was not pleasant.
Yeah, I'm
doing
that now,
so you're already, and then I'm gonna move on. But I'll tell you this: you're already feeling the stress because you're like, I know what I'm leaving home. Try to see if I can block that out. All right, and you don't do your best. Then you come home, and they're like, "Listen, you haven't been here at all, right? It'd be one thing if it's like I'm just missing you, but now you got a house, you got kids. And it's like, all right, here's these responsibilities that you just kind of left on me. How'd you do?" And you're like, yeah, well, didn't go that great. And it's like, what the hell did you go for?
Right, exactly. Oh, man. All right, so if you guys followers of the Martial Arts Center Network, you guys have seen some of the posts that we've been putting out. Lots of fun stuff, interesting topics, and we've been getting some great engagement. So, we put out a pick your team, with 4 rows,
Right.
One had 4 choices of women. One had 4 choices of lightweights, middleweights, and heavyweights. So you picked your team. Fun stuff, man. There's a lot of great things, happening there. Who was yours of that? Who are you? Who'd you pick on that? I want to know.
So I'll go down the line, and I have reasons why I picked them all. So for the women, let's go through who we had. We had Yamena. How you pronounce Yamena's last name?
We had Yamena. We have.
I don't want to mispronounce it, so I'm just going to pass.
So I just say Yamena.
And then we had Dottie White.
Yes, which another
great. And I feel like maybe some people don't remember
how Dottie. At one point she was the top fighter in Africa. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And there was kind of like an asterisk, like, Dottie's the best this year. Dottie's won the most. Is she though? Is she the but nobody's beat her?
I don't know about that, man. I
Come on,
mean,
man.
there was
There
a
was
point
always
you're
the
talking about
Nikki
98,
factor.
99, when she even won the Tough Woman competition. She's on, pay-per-view, and she's winning every NASCA title except 2 that year, and that was the 2 that Nikki showed up to. But
That's what
again,
it is. That's what it was right there.
Right.
Because when Nikki showed up, she won. And yeah, Dottie's got her a couple times. But it's like, I don't think if there's 10 people betting on Nikki Carlson Lee and Dottie White,
right,
I don't think Dottie.
But at that time, Alex, that's not always true, because you have people, which actually this is what we're showing from this, right?
Right.
And we'll get into this, from this, people that love the sport now, and this is something that we've been talking about in our group. Our sport has been really bad historically for documenting things, recording things. So we don't know exactly who's won or whatnot, So there was a lot of people cheering Dottie on when she's fighting Nikki. Most of the people, because Dottie went to every single tournament, and so again, she was one of those, and she was an amazing fighter. And I think some people probably should have picked her, We also had Chelsea Nash, which is, one of the greatest of all times. And then we have Claire Kokoza, which to me is one of the greatest of all times. And so majority of the people picked, as far as for women, Chelsea, right? I think I was the only one.
I was one of them. I picked Chelsea.
Yeah, I think I was the only one that picked someone different. I picked Claire.
I really think he might be the only guy.
And the problem is, let's look at the records. Has Chelsea ever beaten Claire? No, she hasn't.
Very good point.
And there you go. And they've gone against at least 3 times.
The same things you said about Dottie can be said about Claire. Now, before I move off the Dottie thing, so Dottie, I always looked at it like, wow, you're good. But there was always kind of the rumblings like, but if Nikki was here, but if Nikki was here. Those were the rumblings. And I felt bad for her, because it's like, all right, you just won everything. You just dominated.
Yeah.
But everybody's still just being like, but if Nikki was here, would she? And nobody's saying like, oh, you didn't deserve it, or you didn't get that. So that's why I always kind of felt bad, because there was always that question. You know what I'm saying?
But if you want to be the best,
of the guys questioning.
But if you're a competitive person and you want to be the best, don't you want something else? Don't you always want there to be like, you know what? There's more for me. If not, you're going to quit the sport in 2 years, like some forms competitors do.
All of them,
like some, we don't see it as fighting, but it happens, And so I think that's a great thing that we have in our sport,
Yeah, but I think looking back on it now that she's done competing, and we look at those competitive days, and I look at it and I think, wow, all of her dominating years we spent going, yeah, but.
Right.
And I don't think we appreciated them as much. And that's the other thing that we don't do very well in this sport, is we don't appreciate the champions, right? It's one thing to lift up like divisional winners. I'm not about that, right? Because there's 647 of them, right? You don't need to do that, right? Having a unified champion, right? And whatever that may be, whether it's weapon, form, or fighting, whatever, however it gets that way. I think bringing it down as little as possible is best. I think celebrating that and having that built up, I think, is an important thing. It's hard for us to do that as competitors and school owners, because we also have to compete against that person and fight that person. So it's hard to be like, dang, like if it were me being like, I don't even know who, if I would be like, damn, dude, Johnny Tension this guy was amazing. This guy killed. Did you see the way he fought? Because I can't really be doing that, because now I have to turn around and fight him in like 3 weeks.
Right.
So here I am letting that praise come out when in reality I need to internally do that. So it really needs to be on a different type of culture or organization or entity that needs to do that. But really, as a sport, that's just left to die. And you know who's been telling us this for decades? You know who was right all along? Who everybody thought is like, okay, yeah, you're just talking. Jerry Fontenez.
Yep, Jerry Fontenez.
Jerry Fontenez was telling us this for decades. Oh, we all went, okay, Jerry. Jerry Fontenez was right. Jerry Fontenez was right. Somebody hashtag Jerry Fontenez. I don't know. Adam, whatever you TikTok him. I don't know how you do this. All right, but do that. All right. But yeah, he was right. Okay, now going back to your Claire and Chelsea thing.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people picked Chelsea because she was probably the most. All right, there was one or two that picked Yamina because she's current right now, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of people picked Chelsea because she was the next current, and she did. I mean, look at all she's won. She's an amazing fighter. So she's one of my favorite fighters ever. And if Claire wasn't on there, and in my mind too, I'm thinking of, okay, strategy. The only person that really, I don't think Claire hasn't beat is Nikki Carlson. And it's the one person that has a stronger and, dominant leg. And they're also very similar on height. So you don't see Claire losing to many people that are shorter than her. So, and sometimes, but not very often.
And that's the thing is Claire's not shorter than anybody other than Nikki.
Right. Exactly.
So it'd be one thing is if somebody says, yeah, but you can't beat people who are taller than you. Who are those people?
Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. That'd be like,
and she's won on every league.
Be like, yeah, but you can't fight people who are smaller than you. Who are they?
Right. and people will argue, oh, well, look at Chelsea's accomplishments, and they're great. But so are Claire's. Claire is just as accomplished, So I think she's one that's underrated on how much she has. She's won, who she's beaten. A lot of us are big fans of Regina Thompson. That was one of Regina Thompson's hardest competitors. She has beaten her, but still, that's a rivalry that I always look at. So there's some great ones there. The next group we had was Willie Hicks, Enrique, Larry Tankson, and Askia. So who'd you pick on that one? Oh, you froze up on me, Alex. Wow. Hopefully you'll come back. So I picked Willie Hicks. A lot of people picked. So everyone had different ones on this
that
one. Oh, who'd you pick?
Did I freeze?
You froze again, bud.
Did I freeze? All right, hang on.
Yeah.
You keep going. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. But for me, it's Willie Hicks. Overall, his adaptability, he's all his versatility. That's what I'm going to say. He's able to do many things. He's smart. He's also a tough fighter. And against those guys, he would do well, or not necessarily always do well, but he's not going to get whooped up on. You know what I mean? And he's able to match. He's going to have a great strategy going in against Enrique. He's going to be able to match the toughness of, Larry Tankson. He's going to know how to fight Ski because he's been fighting him since he was 7, 8 years old. You know what I mean? So I look at it that way in Willie Hicks. I want to hear, guys, in the comments, who would you pick of these guys on your team?
Well, let's look at who were the pool again. It was
Willie Hicks, Enrique Latona, Larry Tankson, and Askia Allison. Yep.
Yeah.
Who'd you pick? Do you remember? I think he's saying he picked Willie Hicks. Wow. In the most slowest way possible, guys. Let's all put up your emojis of making fun of Alex Frozen.
All right.
Did you say Willie Hicks? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Probably the same reason I did.
Well, Willie reached the highest highs of everybody there. I mean, he absolutely did. Right.
I mean, he has, yes, but I mean, you could say Enrique Latona's done the same, and Larry Tankson's done the same through his years. So he's won a lot of stuff. So I mean, it's just different eras.
First,
you know what I mean?
let's put it like this. Okay. You might have something to say with Larry Tankerson. And that is one where I'm like, you know what? There could be something there.
Mm-hmm.
I would put a big screen TV to get a prime Willie Hicks against Enrique Latona. Like, please
I would love to
let me see that. I'll tell you which one of them don't want nothing.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know that. We know that. We know Willie's gonna wreck that one. So, all right, next row.
Because here's the thing. Enrique will go on the ground a few times. He'll go on the ground twice, and Willie won't let him do it another one.
Actually, you know what though? Here's something, and I love Willie, but I think that would be the longest 2-minute fight of all time because both of them like to take breaks. So let's just say that, okay? Both of them love to use the medic timeout.
Okay,
so
while there's something there, but if he's
a lot of it smarts.
Right, but if Enrique's dodging contact and going down, that's gonna make Willie's blood boil, and he ain't gonna let that one happen. He'll go right at him.
No, that's why I chose Willie on that one. The next line was the middleweight, so we got Ryan George, we got Jeff Gears, we got Mike P, and we got Bill Wallace. So I picked Mike P. Most people pick Mike P, I think, on this one, or new guys pick Ryan George. Huh?
He looks like the karate Bruce Willis.
He does, man. He does.
That's
so
who I picked.
You know, again, for me to round out a team, I would think of him as a leader with the strategy. He's going to calm people down, and if they need to be with the team that I have, he would calm them down, or he would rile them up if they needed to. You know what I mean? And Mike is good at that. So, and then the last row was the heavyweights, and so we had Joe Louis, we had Brian Ruth, and we had Damon Gilbert and Terry Kramer. Who'd you pick on that one? Oh, he's frozen again. Sorry, people. One-man show tonight.
So, no.
Are you good?
Here's what I feel like we need to do for a moment here. Okay, so you mentioned those, and I feel like the throwaway name, which absolutely should not be, is Joe Louis. So let's talk for a quick second about who Joe Louis is. Joe Louis.
Yes, go ahead. Great.
Is really the first true all-out karate champion. I know a lot of people say J. Pat Burleson was, and he was, right?
Or Mike Stone. People mention Mike Stone. Yeah.
J. Pat Burleson moved the needle as much as Joe Louis did.
No.
Chuck Norris. Is a dig. I dig me some Chuck. It was not supposed to be Chuck.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, you're gonna have to fix something, bud. It's getting worse. You're gonna have to reset or something.
All right. You keep going.
All right. So, what we're gonna discuss from here is, you know, just the way how we need to keep putting things out like this, right? So right now we want to hear you guys' picks of who was your team, right? Someone get this guy a router. I love it. Who was your team? You know, for me, I picked Damon because of, you know, a lot of people I think picked Terry Kramer, some Brian Ruth. For me, it's Damon to just pull that team overall together. So prepay internet. It's bad, dude. It's bad. So let's hear your four. Who was your teams? And if you haven't done it yet, guys, go on there, share it, fill in your teams, and we want to hear it. We want to get the discussion going. All right. I'll remove them for a second because it looks silly. But what we have learned from that is something that we were talking about, and I wanted Alex to be on here for this because he's one that's actually kind of guilty of this, you know. And when we're talking about people like Dottie or Claire, and we said, oh, well, actually, Dottie, it's very similar to where we're at right now in women's fighting, okay? Oh, well, you know, there was the most females in the division that we've had in 10 years, 15 years, but Morgan's not here or Katana's not here. So people try to downgrade it, which to me isn't fair. And it doesn't diminish the quality of the competitors, like or their legacy of a Morgan or a Katana. And we're just talking about in the States or in the North America, that we praise those people that just won a division of 20-some people, in open weight, So we are going to talk about our top 5 current, all right, current fighters, and we want to hear yours. This is women's, all right? So start thinking, but we're excluding 2 people, the 2 that everyone says are the top 2 in the States, and we want you guys to dig deeper, okay? Because there's tons of amazing competitors right now, all right? All right, we're almost to get Alex. All right, so yes, yeah, Jack. Those are great names. There are lots of great people. Those weren't on the list though. So go and check that the profile and the pick and everything out. All right, Alex. So let's try this again. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about our top 5 women fighters now. And what I said is I compared now to actually what Dottie was dealing with then, right? It's very similar where, Morgan's not here. So, there's issues with that. Is this person worthy enough to, get the praise? Yes, they accomplished something great. So let's really, you're an idiot. So don't turn your smirk off. And the thing is, we need to actually watch and respect these women. They're out there going all the time. Again, we talked last week with Edgar Cordova, and really Jimena is the most active female or male fighter, because like he said, she goes to 3 tournaments a weekend and then comes over to the States and compete. There's people like that are really putting in the effort. So I'm excited to talk about this. We know if most people have a top 5, they'd say Morgan, Katana. Hey, that's great. And we need we by not having them on the list, we're actually praising them even more. Okay. So, yeah, Jimenez at a tournament every weekend. So your top 5, do you want me to go? I mean, and honestly, I don't haven't written down. I'm kind of going off the top of my head, with this top 5 that aren't, and we're not going to do any, any order.
A little bit of the same.
Yeah. We're not doing any order. No. I don't think. I'm just going to do a top 5. I'm going to go ahead with one that
2 of the top ones. So what's the point of making an order? We're not going to make an order.
Right. So, the first one I'm going to mention is the one we just talked about, Jimena. Her versatility, her being able to make a big change in a year, and be one of the top fighters in the country, in her country and in America. Yes. Does she win every time? No. She also has probably the most, the biggest division, I believe, in right now. So that super lightweight one, and then also the middleweight division are like the 2 biggest divisions right now in the women's division. So she's a great fighter. She is learning. She's had some struggles this year with a tough division with a new upstart, Cassandra, which that would be my second one on there that I'm going to put is Cassandra.
But honestly, I have
De La Barrera is her last name. Yeah, De La Barrera. So another one from Mexico. Yeah. Okay, Alex. So that would be my second one on the list. Great leg, great kicker. Alex, you're killing me, bro. You're killing me. Yes, from Legend, all right? So she's she would be on my list there. Yeah, of course. And Dr. Crum, we are talking about that. How would they fare? Who knows? You know what I mean? But we're going to talk about that. That may be another episode or a little bit later. All right. My third one, man, this is tough. I'm going to go with someone who's been successful recently, and I think that we're getting some rivalries in there with this person. With her, she's actually an all-around competitor. She's a very, but she has just that personality of just I'm gonna I'm going to be forceful. I'm going to really put the whipping on you. And that is Danny Allberger. So she won it at Battle of Atlanta. I know that there's some, her and a girl on my team, Victoria, who is, I think, soon to be on that list. She's kind of right in that 6-7 range right now. She's been doing really well in the team fighting, and but having a little bit of a rivalry with someone like Danny, lost to her in the past couple of tournaments. Danny is an all-around competitor, an amazing athlete, and she continues to improve in her fighting each and every event. So I will put her up there. The next one you got to put with the success that she's had lately is Katiuska from Team Diamond G3. And her leg is awesome. I mean, she's a great kicker, and she's it's really interesting to see how she continues to win her division. And
yeah,
Katiuka, I think is how you say it. Someone help me out on that one. But yeah, so that would be that. That would be what? That would be my 4. And then I'm probably going to leave someone out because there's a lot of great ones.
There's a lot. Yeah, we're leaving out quite a few. We're only going 5.
Yeah. I mean, there's still one right now that I'm thinking that I want to put there because I think she's one of the smartest female fighters, and she was just very successful. I also looking at like some of my favorite, and so one of my favorites to watch is Brianna Nurse, and just her axe kick, the way she fights. And she has a lot of growing to do. She's very young, but she's one of my favorites to watch. So those are my 5 there. So Brianna Nurse, Katiuka Sanchez, I think is the last name, Cassandra De La Barrera, Yamina, and Danny Allberger. Okay. And then I left out my 2 teammates, that I think are going to be in there soon, like Victoria Austin and Jaden Tuitt. They're going to be in there, all right? And then you also, I know you're going to mention this one, so I'm not going to. I think you are because she's one of your favorite fighters as well. So, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
I was going to say Melanie Ortiz. So.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I wasn't getting your ESP. All right. Well, let's start there because, I mean. Mel just did something that thanks, Galen. All right. Mel just did something that is pretty notable. Mel just won the 30+ overall and the 18+ overall and at the US Open. So that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Right?
Yep.
It's not just that like Melanie Ortiz won. All right. That's right. Melanie Ortiz is pretty good. No. It's not that. Right? She won everything, right?
Yep.
So that's a big deal.
Yep.
But what I
need to see comments, guys. I need to see comments. Who you got?
Yeah, what I was trying to go with this was just maybe some that we weren't going to say the whole time. So I was lightweight, and I was although I mean I'm not going to not mention Jimena, and Cassandra. But so you've already kind of mentioned quite a bit about them. I really like watching that matchup of the 2 of them.
Who'd you say? No one knows what you said. You may have to type it, bro.
What. Oh, okay. Is it like that?
Hello, hey, nice to see you again. What's up?
Okay, all right. It's like that, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was telling you, bro.
Oh man. Okay, hang on.
Let's speak faster. Speak faster.
All right, maybe we're better.
Alex 0, Internet 1. Maybe 3. I think the Internet might have won a NASCAR match back in the 90s. 5-0.
All right.
Yeah,
here we go.
Try it without video, Alex.
So. Yeah, we're just gonna keep going, okay? Until if it goes like that, then you can just kick me off.
You really want us to see your face that bad? Oh my god! All right, let's go, bro. Say it. Do them fast.
I'll bring up my next one. All right.
Hey,
I
hey.
think quite a bit. I think Peyton is a good fighter.
Yes.
I like what he's done. She's got a good pedigree.
Yes.
I think another one that has similar, um, she's got a similar skill set is Jasmine Friedman, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
So you said
I
Peyton,
like
Jasmine,
that.
Mel.
And then I would go with Jimena as well.
Who? My God. We're dying here, guys. All right. So, guys, put your 5, all right? Who you think is going to be the top, you're just the top 5 right now, excluding Katana and Morgan, So, want to hear what you think. So, all right, guys. Next topic. I guess I'm talking with you guys. All right. Thanks, Caitlin. You're gonna make a tick. Is that Caitlin? I don't know. All I'm seeing right now is Facebook users, so I don't know. I'm still gonna make a TikTok. What's up, Jess? It's mostly me because we have old Mr. Freeze tonight. What's up, Lindsay? How's everybody doing? All right, guys. So next topic, we just are sharing. You guys are just coming on. Our top 5 female fighters current that exclude besides Katana and Morgan. We want to see some other names, and there is a lot of great talent out there right now. So we just shared our one. So Alex is back, and we have his 5. So we got, you say Mel?
Yep.
You say Jasmine Friedman?
Yep.
Peyton Fender?
Yep.
All right, who's the next?
Jimena and Cassandra.
Jimena and Cassandra. Awesome. Great stuff. All right. So
I know I was cutting out quite a bit, but what I was trying to mention before was the battles between Jimena and Cassandra. I actually thought are very like 2000s-esque. You know what I mean?
Very true. Yeah.
When you just watch, and both of them, it's like, pretty sure what we're gonna see immediately from both of you, and they both know that the other girl's just gonna come leg up, and neither one of them care, right?
Right.
So, but that's being young. You know what I mean? Give them a year and a half, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe they need 3. And all of a sudden they'll start finding an angle back fist. Maybe they'll do something sneaky. They'll go under. Hey, it doesn't have to be a lot. You can do a duck under hook kick even. That way you're still kicking. Whatever.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, they will. I love it. I love it that the kick fighter is the one saying this. But yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So great discussion about that. And guys, again, we want to hear yours. Share more about these fighters and their accomplishments. Okay. We want to see more fighters at all these events. No, I've never been hit by a Jimena. So, but okay. That was what Kaylin said. I guess, is that Kaylin? Does this say Kaylin for you?
I think that's who that is. Yeah.
Okay. I just see Facebook user. That's all it says to me. All right. All right. We also put up an interesting one for traditional forms competitors, female forms competitors, and as that has been the topic of sport karate, is giving more love to the females, not including them on stage, putting them on different play, and there's tournaments now, they're stepping up and making it a point. So I'm excited to see that. As far as, that we put up, and this came out today, pick a form and pick 2 of these 4 women to do a team form with this. And I think that was what some people didn't get. It's a team form, right? So we had Becca Ross, who very successful, especially in traditional forms. We have current competitor, Kaylin Kowalski, one of our fans right here, one of our insiders, definitely an insider supporter. Thank you so much. And she shared it and got lots of traction on that. So thank you. We have Gabrielle Rudolph, which in most people's minds is the number 1 traditional forms competitor. She just won in women's. She just won the U.S. Open. She's been the top person. Many times she goes to a NASCAR tournament and wins all 3 traditional divisions.
Right.
And then we have one from the 90s, Suzanne Wankett, right? One of the legends of our sport, all right? Had a similar type thing. A lot of people didn't pick her. They didn't know her, right?
And that was where, and you know what, Jeff? I looked at it like, all right, well, I know it's Suzanne, and let me think about the others.
Right. That was what yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, of the 4, okay. So it's Suzanne. All right, let's just hang my hat on that. Now let me sit and think. And it was like, and I forgot, I didn't think to look at it through another lens, right? Somebody who may not know, like,
who she is,
like,
right?
What do you mean, Suzanne? Who is that? I don't even know.
Right.
Like, stop.
Yeah. So, Alex, explain a little bit about Suzanne Wankett. I think she might have been one of our competitors of the week before, but it was a long time ago.
And
we need to tell about the legacy of her.
I'm familiar with Suzanne because she's from her area. She's from the same area that I was from, right? She's from Minnesota, all right? So Suzanne Wankett, now Suzanne Wankett, all right? She's a Minnesota martial artist. Suzanne Wankett, as great as she is, and she is great, right? She did at the time of her reign, like when she was competing, I think she pretty much had like I would say 6 or 7 years where it was like for traditional forms, it was like it was her. That was it, right?
I wouldn't say that long because I think when Casey moved up to adults, it changed. But
yes, okay.
But for a good 3 years,
up till 1999, right?
98, yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. She that a good 3 to 4 years, of that.
Although
and
she
then
did win a few overalls after that, though.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah, she still did, but you were saying it was only her. Like that's not a fair statement. You do this blanket stuff, and it's a lot of BS. So.
All right, so back to Suzanne. So Suzanne, all the praise that she would get for her performances, 100% deserved. And so some of that may look like she's perfect, right? So she was a bundle of intensity. I mean, everything. I'm going to get into the knocks now. I'm just going to go right at it.
Yeah, do it.
So the knock on Suzanne is that she was creating a made-up traditional form. As the years kind of went on, she became better as a martial artist. And that's what we all will do. We all will do this. You'll be in this. That's what's so great about sport martial arts competition is if you're just you're in that building, you're in that environment long enough, you just will become better at other types of sport martial arts competition. So she started to do that same thing, but was like, no, I'm still doing traditional form though. Right.
Yeah.
But I could tell like she wanted to do like creative form. She wanted to do like an open form. But she's like, how can I do that while still doing my thing? And so so she made up her own traditional forms. And as the performance, they were great. Then she got hate because they weren't traditional. It's just not the name. The name is,
I guess, I mean, for me, she was the one that really put Gopai Show on the map to me, really. She's the one that did that. You know, she's a Sharkey student, and she really put that on the map. You know, she did do other forms. She did do some blindfold things. She was one of the first ones to do blindfold as well as musical forms with traditional, you know. And yes, she had great stage.
I can't hear that Phil Collins song anymore now.
Oh, no.
Be honest. When you hear that, you hit those drums hit.
Yeah, it's true.
You like, I can't.
Suzanne Wankett. Yep.
And it's right after the drums hit, you hear that high pitched scream, and you're like, change the song.
So really, again, we're going full circle. We're seeing a lot of musical traditional forms lately, right? We're seeing
where did it come from? It came from Suzanne.
And we're seeing everyone getting blindfolded, right? Especially in team forms right now. That is the thing. You know, we're seeing sync weapons, it's blindfolded. The top one, sync forms is blindfolded. And even the team AKA, you know what they did at US Open? They said everyone's winning blindfold. We're going to do it blindfold. You know, so we're really going all the way full circle now. So she was the one who started this years ago. So very interesting where we're at,
this
right?
blindfold shit.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, when Casey and her were competing back and back, it was awesome. When they went and both of them competed in NBL and NASCA different weekends, it was so cool. And Suzanne even said it too. She got better because she didn't have to yell as much. She learned how to be stronger. She learned how to make the form the way it was meant to be. And so it's really exciting to see that. So for me, Suzanne Wankett is a great kicker. I chose Gabrielle Dunn and Suzanne Wankett doing Genkaku, which is, you know, yes. You know, Andrew put out, oh, well, they don't do these forms. Heck, learn it. Like, what does it matter? It's a team form. I mean, my God. Well, they don't do this. Well, who cares? We're not asking them to do it. We're asking you, if you're going to do a team form, you got to go in there and figure out how
Clearly,
to
this
work.
performance isn't going to happen anyway. Why can't we just make up the rest of it?
Exactly. Why can't we just make it? Yeah, exactly. So I think both of them with the different height differences would look really cool. Genkaku is one of the most difficult Shotokan forms. The spinning side kick, there's a lot of kicks in there. I think it'd be really cool with them too. Also, some people I think forgot that it is a team thing, right? So who's actually going to work together? For me, if it was pick the most accomplished one, or maybe even the best overall that could still win now, I would probably go with Becca Ross, you know, as for that, you know, as far as the way that she continues to evolve as a martial artist, you know, she definitely does. I think Kaylin and Gabrielle would compete with her big time, you know, and I love to see that more. But as far as who would work as well with a team, I think Gabrielle and Kaylin would be great together as a team. I know that they're buddies. That would be awesome to see. And I think, yes, I was wanting that as well. Danielle Barrientos to me is my favorite traditional forms competitor, female forms competitor, besides Casey Marks.
She's been your competitor of the week before as well.
A bunch, and I think I had her as my from the 2010s as my favorite women's competitor, right?
I believe you did.
Yeah. So yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, a great share there, Kristen. That would have been one as well. So we're gonna do more of these. We're finding things out, you know. And here's the deal. Let's just keep sharing it. Let's talk about these competitors and share about them and why, and educate, you know, our current generation as well as the past, and then do the same thing. This is something we always say. We say we need to educate the current generation with the past, but we also need to educate the past with the future and with the current generation. You know, so that's something as well that's really true, because some of those guys don't stick with our sport and they constantly downgrade it. Well, you're downgrading something that you were a part of and you helped get to this point.
It's only cool when you were there, but now it's just a bunch of garbage.
Exactly. Like, oh, yeah. And that's the wrong mindset.
Salty at all here.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many like that, guys. I mean, and so yeah, that wouldn't work in the street, or that wouldn't work in my day, or you know, what if ground fighting was legal, or what if, you know, like this and that, you know, or what if ground kicks were legal, you know, all of that, right? Lots of things, you know. So yeah, Suzanne Wankett, that would be awesome. Make it happen. That would be fun.
But here, I gotta be honest with you. So I didn't pick yet, and you know why?
Why?
I don't know all of those forms. Katas. Sorry. So I'm like, I mean, these are just Japanese words to me. I don't. Yep. I know that I know some of them, right? But I'm like, I don't know that I know. I don't think I know all of these. Yeah. So, oh wow!
What?
Look at that, Gabrielle with the solicitation.
Let's go, diamonds.
Now that would be. You'll be cool is if Gabrielle and Suzanne do it, and then Becca and Kaylin do it. I actually think Becca and Kaylin might have.
Would be interesting.
I think that might be the closest as far as their physical attributes and like what their skill sets are. I think they might be the closest. You know what I mean?
They've done similar forms actually, you know, so.
Yeah. What that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I kind of think I would go with Gabrielle and Suzanne and just we'll figure out whatever the form is. Suzanne's going to make it up anyway. So here we go.
Wow.
I'm not even knocking. So listen, she was, for the ones that were educating on this, let's just bring it. Let's go the whole way, right? She was great. She's in a bunch of Hall of Fames. Yeah. She's won it all. And then she's coaching people. Mm-hmm. And then she would make their forms and she would make those. Like a Will Cornell. Like a Will Cornell. Will Cornell was, guy's got 2 diamonds. Yep. He won like it all. And there were people that were like, but he's making up his own form, right? Yeah. And on one hand, like they got a point. And on the other hand, are you just saying that because you didn't win? Because he didn't just win the division a couple times. He did win the overall. So what are we talking about? Right? So
yeah, that's what I was thinking, Drew, is Becca and Caitlin Chatanyara. Yep. Go ahead, bud. I'm sorry.
I'll have to figure out. That's what I want to do, though. I want to YouTube these forms.
All these forms? Yes.
All right. We should do again, Korean
fill
forms.
It out and share, Korean forms. We'll get there. We'll get a Korean one. Don't worry.
Have Jeff Doss versus John Chung, and we'll list the forms. Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Lord, that would be fun. All right, so yeah, I mean, this has been a great discussion on that. Man, I have a couple different ways for us to think. I don't know, but I like this comment that Chrissy Boyer put out, though, and I think it's very important. All right, hold on, I have so many comments. It started this one. All right, I love showcasing underbelts. However, I think we're giving them too much too soon, and there's no motivation to keep training. So true. So true. This next one, though. And again, we have to do something for the underbelts. We got to make it important for them, but we also can't give them too much. Here's the next comment. I also think too many underbelts learn katas out of their level. It ruins the studying of the art and it makes it unfair for competition. And it also makes it another reason why they're not lasting. If they're learning 5th degree forms at green belt or advanced belt, what is there left for them to do? Like, I already know.
But we're enticing them to do that right now.
Exactly.
No, like by even having the underbelt grands.
Oh, exactly.
We're dangling this carrot like, here's a grand championship. Don't go do that form. That's a little too advanced for you. I know you see that form winning everywhere. That's a better form than yours. Don't do that to get this little thing here. Here it is. But don't do that. It's like, come on now. You know they're going to.
Yeah, we've had this has been an issue for a long time. Like we had a real bad issue with it in NBL. We had it as an issue now in NASCAR tournaments. I think it's even an issue even for 1st degree black belts. Honestly, like everyone's just trying to do whatever the highest ranked form is. And this is where I love going to the traditional circuit. You know, if you go to AAU, we talked a couple weeks ago about how big those events were, right? You go to those, you compete in your degree. You go to even ATA, which is, like the step sister of, or step brother, stepchild of Taekwondo, as far as traditional Taekwondo.
Yeah. But
you compete 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree. Everyone does the same form. You can't go up and you compete in what your rank is. It's something to say about that. Like, I feel like if there was something that to me is the reason why there's stuff like traditional challenge or Korean challenge or classical for challenge for issues like that. Right. And I don't know. I just think that we're hurting the growth of our athletes. I can't go and say, all right, I'm going to give them the best form. And I think that's been an issue with Korean. Everyone, well, we're teaching you Gay back because that's the form that wins. We're teaching you Gay back, or we're teaching you Super Impe. We're teaching you Anandai or whatever. I mean, all of this, we got to learn to say no. Yep. Can I learn that kata? No, you're not there yet, but you will be.
But
agreed. It's the same thing when in NBL when everyone wanted to do OG, and I told them, no, I don't think I'm going to teach you that yet. We're going to do something else. And then, what they said? They either they listened to me or they copied it on YouTube. so
that's just where I was going.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like the traditional challenge setup. It's not gonna fix itself, because if you have it, they're gonna look at this and go, well, I'm gonna go do a OG. I'm gonna go do this form, because they can just go on YouTube and learn it. So nobody has to be the one teaching them this, like, here, go learn this.
Right.
They can just do this stuff themselves, right?
Right. But they'll only be successful for a while without a coach. So,
but
and yes, there should be a Korean challenge.
like,
We've talked about that many times.
But I think the thought is like, sure, there might be like one or two people who try that, but they're not going to stick. No. There's dozens.
Yeah.
So what are we
divisions
talking about?
of
Why are
funding,
we
30
doing to do this?
Right. I don't know what I feel like for underbelts, there has to be more rules in play, and there needs to be, the hardest part though is that there are systems that don't have forms. Like, say I may teach a black belt form to my green belts in my style, you know what I mean? In my school. So that's where I think we have issues, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't teach any basic forms. I only teach black belt forms. So yeah,
then
exactly. 21st century mentality, instant gratification.
But see, then that's why. Okay, so what we have as far as a tournament circuit or system or culture.
Exactly what I just said, Martin. Yeah, you're so right. Even if we agree to not teach certain causes, there will always be those instructors that will teach them anything to win. Yep.
Exactly. So we are an open tournament, right? System, right?
Yep.
It's open. You want to do Kung Fu? Come on in. All right. You want to do Shotokan? Come on in. All right. Doesn't matter. Everybody compete. Here we go. All right. And that's what it was supposed to be. All right. Here's form. Here's fight.
Yeah.
Go. Right. And then it was like, all right, this Shotokan form versus this, Okinawan form. Right. This Taekwondo form versus this Tang Sudo form. Right. And it was interesting, but then it got too much to handle. Like in its simplest, days, you could kind of handle that. But then when people got better and people started making their own forms, and it's like, what do I do with this? Right? Now it grew. Okay, just walk us through the.
Kathy really has an interesting take.
What
I think it's different though with traditional and open because creative style is that like you're not limiting them on what they can do. But I also understand the take too. There's no difference in 7-year-old who can 540, 720. This is a competition circuit. You train to win. What goes in your dojo is different. I agree on the dojo thing because again, I'm not that person that Grandmaster Puba, I'm gonna bow to you because of this and that. No, that's in your dojo. Keep that in your dojo. Don't make me, which
like I said, Puba.
Yeah, Puba. Old Puba. Yeah, you're right. And Christy, it's an open tournament circuit. It's very different, Yeah.
But
here's a great one. Here's a great one. In our system, Seisan is a white belt form, but in some systems, it's a black belt form. You cannot dictate what level of form is for open competition. And
it does. So basically, until they get to black belt, we're all kind of going, we're just trying to tread water, right? Until they get to black belt. Then once they're in the black belt division, we can go, okay, here we go. We're just doing it. This is your division. All right. So then why are we having this underbelt grand? We're building this thing up before they get there. Stop. Let's just get them there. Right. It's going to take them a couple of years. They'll get there.
Yeah.
Don't build this thing up because then when they say, like I was the underbelt grand champion at the Ocean State Grand Nationals, like, wait, you were the grand champion? No, I was the underbelt forms grand champion when I was 10.
Yeah.
What are we talking? Like, this is you can't even mention that to anybody outside of your parents.
Right.
And even then, they're going to be like, all right, pump the brakes. We've gone down this road enough times. You're a brown belt now. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Eventually, nobody knows.
This is a comment too there, Tim. I agree. Open shouldn't mean free for all. Is it really that hard to just be a little bit more specific in your rules?
Yes.
That's true.
Point.
And so here's something that Let's see. The Yellow Rose Nationals did this, right? And they did just the wording was a little off, but they did traditional forms, regular traditional forms for underbelt, which you could do what you normally do. Then they did rank specific traditional forms. And they said, why not? They gave a list of the forms per rank that you did.
Oh no, that's different.
And they did that, and they made it that way. And there was a good amount that did it. And it actually it's a second division, because you can't just say this is it or that, especially in the middle of the year. But he tried it, and it worked out very well. Tony Lopez did a great job doing that. So
were those Korean forms or were those Japanese forms?
It was both. They had a list of the different ones, because again, for the beginner ones, it's not too much. Like there's the Hyons, there's the Pinons, there's different ones per system. And then there's Korean forms, and then there's Tang Soo-do forms. So, yeah, there you go. Here we go again. We have a whole night show for underbelts and single A black belts who didn't want to compete against the top competitors, and a whole night show and no women's fighting or 30+ grands for double A. And so, yeah, I agree. And we all have digs and things we want, that we feel. I definitely agree with that.
But why? But here's the thing. You know what? I'll bring it this way, right? I was talking with, and this is totally different direction, but I'm going to circle back. I'm going to come back to it. So in the showroom that I'm at, we showcase a lot of different materials, right? So I'm talking with the owner. I'm like, hey, we should really be showcasing this. We should have this material. We should have this product out here. And he says, but people we sell this product a lot. We should showcase it since we sell it a lot. And I said, that's false, right? We should be showcasing our best thing. That way, when people come in, they go, holy crap, I didn't even know that was possible. Okay, I probably can't afford to do that. But man, what can I do, right? Because if you see something in there that's average, that people do all the time, they walk in, they go, meh, okay, it looks okay, right? Moving on. It's not impressive. Right. Nobody wants that, right? We're not even putting that out on the night show.
Right.
We're not even putting out seems okay. That's pretty good. No, we're putting the snooze fest, right? And it's okay. This is essentially when we're doing the underbelt grands, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I mean, I think if people look at it objectively, they would look at it and go, yes, that's exactly what it is. Doing underbelt grands is a dance recital. Underbelt grands is a dance recital. Because if they're there, the only people watching this are their parents.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to a dance recital, it just is what it is. You're sitting down for an extended period of time, and you're watching this group of kids go up and do theirs. Okay, that's fine. We're all just gonna clap. Everybody's here. Everybody's having a great time. We're gonna clap. But then when it's time for your kids' group, you're loving it. And then when they're done, you're like, okay, let's go get a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
They're done. That is underbelt grands right now. There's no point to it, all right? If you want to say, let's just do a dance recital, then just do a dance recital. But don't call it a championship. There's nothing champion about it whatsoever. Nothing.
Well, I think it's because it's the U.S. Open, and that's why, So again, and we've talked before, every tournament can do what they want to do with it, So, and these are just topics, these are gripes, but they're just things that we think should be talked about, So, yeah.
This goes back to when I was doing should it stay or should it go?
Yeah, that should go. Yeah.
Underbelt grands should have gone 6 years ago.
All right, guys. So we've had a fun talk. I think we can keep going on, but I know I got to get going. You got to get going. But this was some great topics. Check out Martial Arts Center Network. Put your comments, guys, on who you think. You know what I mean? Who you think you should have on your team. What 2 women competitors would be great together in what form. and let's hear more about these competitors, these women, these men, everybody. All right.
Hey, tell me real quick, Jeff, because I was cutting out so much. It was probably when I had to leave. Man, totally my bad. I'm a insider. I'm gonna fix this. It's not gonna be an issue anymore. I know it's pretty much been a weekly issue. Promise, we're not gonna deal with this anymore. Okay, you got my word. Okay, who was your heavyweight?
I picked Damon Gilbert.
You picked Damon Gilbert. Let's just take 2 seconds. Okay, 2 minutes. Why did you pick Damon Gilbert again? I know you probably already said it. Tell me. Because I want to
the intensity overall, and I think even if he wins or loses, and against those guys, I feel like his tools and would be best. So that's why I picked him. And also the vibe between him and Mike P together is a strong one.
That's
their connection. So
yeah,
and Willie as well. They've all fought well together. Him and Claire were teammates together, so that whole team gels well. So,
yeah, I think I'm going Brian. I went Brian.
Yeah. And see, for me, I feel like Damon against Brian's a good matchup for me, for my team.
And I'm thinking
Terry would be a harder one, though. Terry Kramer, I think, would be a tough one.
This was the heavyweight was the only one that I'm like, I don't know. Because then here we are, still leaving Joe Louis out of this.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking Louis.
I know.
Joe Louis. You can find it somewhere. There's a tournament. I've seen it, right? And there's this tournament. I think it was like, geez, it was the mid 60s. It might have been like 66 or something like that, right? And Joe Louis had like his Joe Louis, almost like his Jean-Claude Van Damme, stance where you got the front arm down and the rear hand here, right? And he just sidekick. He just killed people with just front leg sidekicks. They didn't know what to do with it. They'd never seen a sidekick before. And he's just wrecking people. All right, man. Find that, insiders. It's been a great show. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week.